Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That is Jack. I'm Conrad, and this is the 45 UEFA Champions League Group D preview. We've got Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta, and Midtjylland. I don't know. This one thing that ties these teams together is losing the players, right? Just in the last 2 days, Virgil is gone for Liverpool. Alisson is already out. Van Dijk, Dest, Ziyech gone for Ajax. Diallo gone from Atalanta, and Midtjylland's just going to do a ton of losing in this group, I think. But they're all just. I mean, that's a ton of talent that you're not going to see in this group stage.
Yeah. It will be sad to see. I think Ajax have just been a constant factory of really high quality talent for the last several years, and I think that it is sad to see them lose all three of those guys. But it's a question of can they just continue to produce? And I don't want to compare them to Southampton because Southampton have taken a bit of a step back from when they used to be, just churning out talent left and right. But there's a question, when does the factory run dry? When do you run out of talent? It's going to be interesting to see, but it's going to be a great group, I think. These are four really interesting sides, so it should be really fun.
Liverpool coming off of their first Premier League title, first top division title in 30 years. Again, very, very good defensively, and as we mentioned, Virgil van Dijk out for the next 7 to 8 months. Alisson will be back at some point, but he will not be there for the first two matches. And Adrian has looked very, very shaky between the sticks. They did bring in Jota, Thiago Alcantara, and Tsimikas, as we mentioned in the previous show. But is it going to be enough to really get them to qualify? They're given an 87% chance. Yeah, I think they can get out of the round of 16.
Yeah, that 80%, 87% number may have been pre-Van Dijk injury and pre their calculation. So I can imagine it would definitely be hit by losing the best defender in the world. Made really good transfer moves, especially pandemic-wise, only paying 10% of the Jota deal up front. And Thiago, world-class midfielder, and Tsimikas, a great option at left back who has Champions League experience.
Next up, Ajax, as we mentioned. No Ziyech, no Van de Beek, no Dest. They were first in the Eredivisie. Last year, they were third in their group. This is after the previous year being in a semifinal matchup against Spurs. 45% chance, but I'm not sure I like those odds.
Yeah, Atalanta, I feel like they were, I don't call them the Ajax of 2020, but they were the side who made an unexpected run into the quarterfinals and were about 5 minutes away from making it to a semifinals where it offered a capitulation against PSG. They hold that capitulation very similarly to Ajax's blowing the 3-goal lead and allowing Lucas Moura to push Spurs into the final of the Champions League.
Next up, Atalanta. They can score. Last year, finished third in Serie A, scoring 98 goals, finishing third. They did concede 48, so not all that great defensively. And against these other two teams that we're talking about, specifically, Liverpool and Ajax, not necessarily good. So I think Liverpool and their front three will feast here, as will Ajax.
Yeah, I believe Atalanta were in a group with Liverpool last year. It may have been Napoli, I forget.
No, it was Napoli, but
Yeah, and I think Atalanta, what's very interesting about them is that they have that really electric attack. They share that with Liverpool in the early stages of their development under Klopp. Electric in the attack, but it's just a bit fragile on the defensive side of things.
Next up, Midtjylland out of Denmark, champions there in the Superliga. 62 scored, 29 conceded. Interesting moves, in, not a lot of stuff out. Again, probably at this point taking the check and trying to weather the pandemic and see what they can do.
Yeah, they will definitely, especially in this climate, be very appreciative of the Champions League TV revenue. Even if it is for only 6 matches, they'll still be quite happy. And that 9%, I believe, is one of the lowest out of any sides. It's because they're not established. They haven't had much investment in their side. I remember they played Manchester United, I believe, a couple of years back, and that was when Marcus Rashford was making his first headways into football. And so I think it'll be interesting for them to make another run around in the media. But I do believe that having them as the 4th place team is very accurate for them. It's not a disrespect to them. Just simply investment levels have been very different in comparison for them and the other 3 clubs in this group.
Perhaps a surprise. Both of us have Atalanta finishing ahead of Ajax, but again, I think it's just a matter of that exodus of talent, and they did slip. They went from semifinalist to third in their group to third in their group again, is what we're saying here.
Yeah, I think that especially with Atalanta being very successful last year, and I think making potentially improvements, maybe taking a slight step back losing Castagna, versus Ajax losing a lot of talent on a team that last season did not perform as well as they did the year prior. So I think especially in the COVID climate, there's a lot of continuation for a lot of sides. And Liverpool, obvious favorites for obvious reasons, and Atalanta, if they continue from last season, they'll have every reason to believe that they should be the second best team in this group.
Well, that'll do it for us for our look yet again at the UEFA Champions League upcoming season, Group D. So please do give us a comment, tell us what you think, subscribe as we ask always, and do look for us on the Twitter at the 45. Take care now.